Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 18th ANQ Congress 2020. I am your host, Min Hyang Jang. Nice to meet you. It is such an honor to host such a meaningful event, and because of the corona pandemic, this event is being held with Zoom, so I ask for your kind understanding. The 18th ANQ Congress is being held in Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry in South Korea from October 21st to October 23rd. The theme of ANQ Congress is New Quality and New Trust, Measuring and Sharing of QTI. Through this opportunity, we hope for quality experts, practitioners, and academicians to share their creative ideas and approaches in order to prepare for the upcoming decade of Industry 4.0. Now, please let us welcome Dr. Penishwan, the chairman of Asian Network for Quality, to give us an opening speech. He sent us the video clip, so let's watch it.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, all participants, all directors and honoraries. I would like to start with this. I think I can go ahead and read this text that would be also filed with the ANQ website, and you can read later. Okay. Honorary Chair, Professor Kano, honorary directors, honored guests, and all Congress participants. I would like to also include the KCCI, for their support. Welcome everyone to ANQ Congress 2020. It has been almost 2 decades since we started this annual Congress back in 2003. So this is the 18th rendition. For a while, it looked as if we were facing a disruption due to the pandemic. Thanks to a great effort by the Korean Society of Quality Management, or KSQM, who arranged this online gathering, we are able to maintain continuity. A big thank you also to the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KCCI, for their support. We have the technology, but it still takes dedication from both sides, organizers and participants, to make this Congress possible. As envisioned by our founders, ANQ Congress is a venue where quality people come together to promote advancement in the field of quality by presenting either new theories or success cases in actual application. As such, both academic and practitioners can participate and benefit greatly. Asia is now recognized as the third pillar in the world economy, along with the America and Europe. We have the population and the resources to compete, but to be competitive, we must maximize value that can be derived from our resources and minimize waste at the same time. In short, quality is the answer. Quality practice, quality products, and quality culture. The theme chosen by our host this year, New Quality and New Trust, Measuring and Sharing of QTI, captured the essence of quality perfectly. We have a few definitions of quality, usually along the line of usefulness and consumer satisfaction. The QTI, the Quality Trust Index, can form a basis for benchmarking the quality characteristics that are appreciated by consumers. On behalf of ANQ, I would like to offer a warm welcome to each and everyone. Together, we can make this Congress a really great event. With the new normal to be upon us in the foreseeable future, the experience from this Congress would be as valuable as the knowledge gained. With best wishes to all participants and welcome to ANQ Congress 2020. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please give him another warm round of applause. Next, please welcome Professor Sung-Hoon Hong, the president of Korean Society for Quality Management, to give us a welcome speech. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Hello everyone, welcome to ANQ 2020. My name is Sung-Hoon Hong. I'm a president of Korean Society for Quality Management. The momentum of COVID-19 that occurred early in this year is still lingering. I would like to thank everyone who attended the ANQ 2020 opening ceremony despite the confusion caused by COVID-19. This year, the ANQ 2020 will be hosted by TEMA, New Quality and New Trust, Measuring and Sharing of QTI. Unlike in previous years, this Congress will be held as an online event. Although it's an online event, we try to prepare various programs. Furthermore, all events, including opening ceremony, plenary session, award ceremony, parallel session, and closing ceremony will be broadcast live on YouTube. You can find it on the ANQ 2020 website. Despite being an online academic paper presentation, about 150 papers have been submitted. Various research results, such as research papers, case studies, and research notes will be introduced through oral and poster presentations. I would like to express my gratitude to the researchers in Japan and India who contributed a large number of papers. I think the online academic presentation is a challenging event for the fourth industrial revolution. It's our first online event, so we are not used to it, but we tried to make a great matter. Please give a lot of attention and participate. Many people worked hard to prepare for this event. I would like to specially thank the two co-chairpersons, Professors Wan Sun-shin and Dr. Sang-jin Lee, and the program chair, Hee-jun Park, for their dedication to this Congress. I would also like to express my special gratitude to ANQ Chairman, Dr. Panishuan Jamnarues, and the ANQ Honorable Chair, Dr. Noriaki Gano, for their great help in preparing for Congress. As I know, ANQ Congress is a festival for all Asia quality measures. I hope you can participate in this Congress to share your knowledge, to understand the latest trends in quality management, and to share our friendship. Please enjoy this great two-day online Congress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Hong. Please give him a big round of applause once more. Lastly, please welcome Dr. Sang-jin Lee, the Chairman and CEO of Korean Standards Association, to give us a congratulatory message. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sang-jin Lee, Chairman and CEO of Korean Standards Association, and also the co-chair of this Congress. I'd like to thank and congratulate participants on and offline and welcome you all to the 18th ANQ Congress 2020. I'd like to express my special thanks to ANQ Chair Paniswan Jamnaruech and Honorary Chair Noriaki Kano for their support at this event. I would like to thank those of you who worked hard to prepare the ANQ Congress 2020 during this period, including Professor Shin Wan-sun of Sungkyunkwan University and Professor Hong Sung-hoon, President of the Korean Society for Quality Management. The world is changing in many ways because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and there are a number of issues worth considering with regard to quality management. First, the disruption of global supply chains and negative responses to free trade. Second, the need for change in the quality management models and methods. The Malcolm-Baldrige model and the TPM method do not properly reflect current paradigm shift. Third, the need to combine digital transformation technology with quality management. Lastly, fourth, the advent of smart manufacturing, which allows for a linkage between elements within the system and the creation of platforms that link the system. Let me elaborate the above-mentioned four factors. First, given the current unpredictability of global supply chains, production and distribution networks will be reconstructed to be sustainable and disperse risks. And each method will become yet more complex and varied. Second, desires for new quality management model that overcomes this crisis are growing. The Malcolm-Baldrige model and framework is the Bible of global quality management, which is being used around the world. And the TPM method has been essential for facilitating innovation across entire companies. But it's time for these approaches to catch up changes of the digital transformation. Third, existing systems centered on inspection and management are fast approaching flawless quality with the rise of AI and IoT. Moreover, they are accelerating development along with the core technologies of digital transformation. Lastly, the emergence of smart manufacturing has facilitated the completion of digital platforms that enable connectivity, sharing, utilization of the elements of platform, and machine intelligence, and thus realizing digitalization of quality. As demand for digital transformation grows economically and socially, there is a need to create organizations and the capacity to respond to this pace of the changes. In addition, the convergence of and fusion of quality-related knowledge calls for cooperation across diverse fields through interdisciplinary approaches with knowledge sharing, and open platforms are likely to become even more important. Asia had fared relatively well in controlling COVID-19 compared to the West, demonstrating Asia's potential to adapt to changes. This year's Congress topic, New Quality and New Trust, Measuring and Sharing of QTI, is very timely and groundbreaking work. I hope that this will be a productive and future-oriented event, proceeding online in a way that enables active discussions and Q&A. I also hope that this event becomes a forum for the exchange of knowledge in search of a quality model that catches up the paradigm shift through new researches. The Quality Trust Index study that Professor Shin Wan-sun will present tomorrow will be a good vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, your engagement research have helped the ANQ thrive and will be crucial in improving Asia's quality standards. This year, because of the COVID-19, the ANQ Congress 2020 is being held online, but I hope to meet you all in person next year and hope you all remain safe and healthy until then. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lee. Please give him a warm round of applause once more. This is the end of the 18th ANQ Congress 2020, and I will see you again at tomorrow's closing ceremony. Next plenary session will be followed by Professor Hee-Jun Park. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Hello, dear ANQ members. My name is Hee-Jun Park, and I'm professor at Yonsei University in Korea. And I'm going to operate this plenary session. But to make this session efficiency, I'll give you some instruction. Each speaker should put your own lecture material in the computer, and so we can save time and we can make things smooth. So now the first presenter, Professor Dalgard, please load all your lecture material in your computer. So I'll give you the control of Zoom for now. Okay. Yes, today we're gonna have 4 keynote speakers, and we talk about worldwide quality strategy after COVID-19. So we're gonna talk about what is going on and what will happen after the COVID-19 in the field of quality. I'm so honored and I'm so excited to have these 4 speakers today. And I think I don't need that much explanation about these 4 speakers. They are very well known all over around the world, and they are so distinguished by people in the field of quality. First, let's go for the Professor Jens Dalgard. He is professor at Linköping University in Sweden. I guess, yeah, you're there. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, but I think you forgot what you should do. Yeah. Don't look at me. Look at your computer and upload your file. Yeah. I already gave you the control of Zoom, so you can share your lecture material through the Zoom. Is that much difficult? No, good. Okay. Wow, your eyes are so big. You're almost there? Do you have your file in your computer? No? Then we're going to have control the lecture material, okay? So when you want to go for the next slide, you can just say it. Then we're going to control the Zoom. Hello? So Professor Dalgard, you want to do it or you let me do it?
We are working hard to. But it will be nice that you do it.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So you just concentrate on giving us lecture. We're going to control the Zoom, okay?
Because why can't we share the PP material with you?
Why you cannot, or?
It's not on the screen. Normally it's coming up on the screen.
Yes.
Do you see the material now?
No.
No? Okay. So it's this is PP
Oh, yeah.
material.
I can see
Yes.
it. I can see it.
Oh, very good.
We did
Very
it,
good.
or? Yeah. So we put your lecture material here. So don't worry about it and just do your speech, okay?
So is this material from your file or from our computer?
Our computer. It's not yours, it's
From
mine.
your computer.
Right.
Okay.
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 Okay?
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Yeah. So Professor Dalgard, If you want to go for the next page, just let us know, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, Professor Shin is going to do it.
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. In Swedish time, it's 7:30 in the morning. It's quite dark outside, so I had to say good morning to you. And good afternoon in Korean time, 안녕하세요. It's a pleasure for me to join ANQ in this online conference. And I thank you, the organizers of this conference, for having invited me to deliver this keynote speech, even if my lecture, because of Corona, had to be an online presentation. Well, time is very limited today, and only 15 minutes for my presentation, so I will immediately start the presentation. Next slide, please. Before I speed up my lecture, I will help you with giving you an overview about the lecture contents. First, I will shortly define what is a quality strategy, and then I will show examples of quality strategies from several thousand years ago to the last century, where Schuhart's pioneering work initiated the modern and scientific area of quality, quality assurance to quality management. Then I will look at quality strategies after Schuhart, and as you can see from this slide, I will end up shortly to comment on the ongoing Corona situation and its effects on organizations of any kind all over the world. Next slide, please. As you can see from this slide, I define here a quality strategy as a systematic approach for setting strategic quality targets and managing these targets through communication and involvement of everybody concerned. The targets will of course vary depending on the context, but the approach has generally been the same for thousands of years following the PDCA and the PDSA cycles. Next slide, please. This slide shows my important observation that from early times of the history of mankind, the main tool or approach for assuring quality was the PDCA cycle. And quality was achieved when it conformed to the specifications given either from God or from human beings. Very good examples can be found from the Old Testament in the Christian Bible. For example, building the tabernacle, rebuilding the temple, and rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. The last example, rebuilding the walls in Jerusalem, is an impressive and powerful example of the TIQ principle, meaning total involvement in quality, defined as conformance to specifications. So a good example of the importance of following the whole PDCA cycle and not forgetting the last two activities, check and action. If forgotten, results may be quite different from what was specified in the specifications. For me, it was surprising and also exciting to find such detailed examples written down 1,000 years ago. Similar examples may be found in other religions' holy scriptures. You switched to the slide too early. Now we come with this slide. We are in and after the era. The father of modern quality management, where quality is first to assure quality, then you improve quality, then you assure quality, and then you improve quality, and so on. Only improvements are done by following PDCA cycle, which is also called the Schuhart cycle. And quality assurance is done by following the PDCA cycle, where S means to standardize. Both cycles, check is of the utmost importance. As you know, Schuhart used this quality strategy on his own developed statistical process control charts. Next slide, please. In 1950, the so-called Deming cycle, also called PDCA cycle, was presented by Dr. Deming in Japan during his 8-day course for Japanese top managers as an important tool or approach to assure quality improvements. We see from this slide that check is not enough, but it must be combined with a study activity where staff really study the results in order to understand the root causes and what did we learn and eventually what went wrong. This combination of check and study became the utmost importance in the following quality evolution, and it is still a must-be activity today in Industry 4.0. Next slide, please. Here we see that Deming in his lecture stressed that the quality strategy had to envelope the entire production line from incoming materials to the consumer and redesign of product and service for the future. It was probably the first time that production was viewed as a system, including both consumers and suppliers. And all components of the system were to be regarded as interdependent. From Deming's own writings, we can also observe that the quality strategy should also comprise reduction of waste of any kind. With this observation, we can conclude that the roots of lean production go back to Deming's lectures in Japan. Next slide, please. Now we have approached the era of TQM and excellence starting in the last part of the 1980s and continuing until today. Some of the most popular and well-known quality approaches in this period are shown here. We can see that quality strategies using those subjects we have on the screen have to become more complex than earlier, and we observe that to compete with quality, you have to have very well educated and committed staff and top managers, middle managers, shop floor leaders, and ordinary employees. The so-called quality award models or excellence models were developed and practiced by almost all types of organizations in this period. Next slide, please. Next, yeah. Here you see the European excellence model developed in the period of 1989 to 1992 and implemented by many European companies since European Foundation for Quality Management introduced the model as the European Quality Award model in 1992. As you can see from the slide, we can use this model to define clearly the quality strategy. First, improve enablers in order to achieve excellence in selected results. We can also see that the PDCA cycle is used in combination with study from the Deming cycle. When studying the results, the aims are to learn and to use creativity and innovation in order to be able to decide on the right action to be included in the next strategic PDCA cycle, starting with the first 4 enablers, which we can call the model's management processes. Next slide, please. The 5th enabler of the EFQM model comprises processes, products, and services, which means work to satisfy existing customers with existing products and services, and 2, work to satisfy existing and/or new customers with new products and/or new services. That work may be called the backbone of the EFQM model and is a result of the first 4 enablers, the management processes. The results of the 5th enabler, products and services, determine the results evaluated by the company's stakeholders, customers, employees, society, and the owners. Next slide, please. TQM has evolved since the 1980s and has now been recognized as a management theory with a focus on quality, quality improvements, and stakeholder satisfaction. This evolution is still ongoing today, so the challenge of building new TQM is continuously to consider the new realities, challenges, and opportunities of new technologies, new products, and new markets. A number of challenges and opportunities has been focused on in the slide, covering also the last 15 years, which I call the Quality and Industry 4.0 period, because we are now exactly in that period. Keywords of this period are digitalization, digital control, digital value creation, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robots, experience, virtual reality, 3D printing, open innovation, partnerships, platforms, agility, sustainability, social media, ethics, and much more. The latest keyword shown with red text is a new scorecard, the so-called quality scorecard, which is a needed improvement of the so-called balanced scorecard developed by Kaplan and Norton in 1992. Shin is the chairman-elect of ANQ, Professor Wanson Shin. Congratulations, Professor Shin. I expect that the quality scorecard and its principles and tools used will gradually be adapted by organizations worldwide. Professor Shin, I expect that you will be extremely busy in the coming period. Next slide, please. Yes, now we look at what is the essence of the fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0. As you can see from this slide, the essence is the convergence of physical planet and cyber planet to produce intelligent digital transformation. The convergence is based on what we all use daily, the Internet revolution. We can say that the intelligent digital transformation has created a new planet, which we can call the digital planet, which invites everybody to participate. Some will participate, some will not, and some will disappear from the market because they were too slow to reap the fruits of the Internet revolution. Many reasons why they were too slow to reap the fruits or response to the new challenges and opportunities of this Internet revolution. The challenge for quality and for organizations is to understand those new opportunities and also to react in due time to use those opportunities in wise ways. Next slide, please. I and my wife, Professor Sumi Dalgaard Park, who's sitting beside me now, has worked for the last year or so to edit a book of articles about key challenges and opportunities for quality, sustainability, and innovation in the fourth industrial revolution. The book is a selected number of edited articles presented at the last QMOD conference taking place in Krakow, Poland, 2019. It is our hope that this book, with its many cases from around the world, may inspire managers, quality professionals, and students to control this very complex revolution and to use the revolution to create a better world than the one we experience in this chaotic time period. Next slide, please. Here you can read in short what are the key challenges and opportunities for quality, sustainability, and innovation in the fourth industrial revolution, where the overall aim of the book is to answer the question, how can companies survive and prosper in the new economic age of the fourth industrial revolution? Next slide, please. With this slide, we signal that in this period from 2020 to 2035, we will see a continuous and strengthened focus on the challenges and opportunities of the last 15 years from 2005 to 2020, combined with a needed change of management practices because to be both effective and efficient in reaping the potential fruits of the fourth industrial revolution, organizations will increasingly need to base the development of new products, new services, and new processes on an open innovation paradigm where new partners and new stakeholders are invited to participate with new types of resources based on creativity, trust, motivation, sharing, etc. Platform-based innovation or platformnovation, which is a new principle coined by Professor Hee-Jun Park, Korea, is expected to change the rules of how companies may compete in this period. To survive in this exciting period, many companies need new management and leadership practices, where strategies have continuously to be adapted to the new challenges and where the adaptation is based on new forms of strategic quality management. And lastly, companies have to understand through learning how to adapt to the corona situation, which at the moment seems to become more and more out of control. Let us shortly discuss the corona situation. We don't know the ultimate effects of the corona, but what we know is that the problems and the necessary changes caused by corona have come like overnight. And many companies, organizations have not been prepared to such overnight changes. They were not prepared for such uncertain events might happen so fast. They had no strategies for such serious and overnight events. So I think that it's a time to deeply think about it and discuss the value of existing business models, leadership, strategies, and quality management practices, to discuss how to develop new business models, new practices and systems, which are more effective and more efficient to discover in time sudden changes in the market caused by corona or other system causes such as the fourth industrial revolution. A revolution in management processes seems to be urgently needed. New SQM, new strategic quality management may be the answer to the chaotic situation we experience right now. Next slide, please. Challenges and new opportunities must continuously be identified and acted upon. The prerequisites are continuous strategy development based on an open innovation paradigm with new customers and stakeholders, new partners, platform-based innovation, new excellent leadership, TIQ meaning total involvement in quality, and QI quality innovations. Next slide, please. This slide signals that continuous strategy development, which is needed in this turbulent time of the corona pandemic, combined with the challenges and opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution, may be practiced with existing but revised excellent models. The needed revisions are many, covering the weights of the various models' criteria and the way the model is used as a strategic business model, where new technologies of the fourth industrial revolution continuously will support continuous updating and analysis to assure that existing strategies can be changed day by day or at least weekly if needed. New roles of managers and special dedicated quality managers will be needed so that they can be more dedicated to data analytics. Next slide, please. Here we go back to the year, to the beginning of the new century, where Joseph Moses Duran held his new millennium speech in the world telecast, and he proclaimed that the new century, the 21st century, would be a century of quality. And in fact, I agree with what he said, but I have this comment that each century has always been of utmost importance to mankind. Each quality in each century has gradually grown and left a new stepping stone to a higher level. So in fact, I conclude here that each century will become a new century of quality, not only the 21st century. So in fact, our business to work with quality is very a blessing, because it's always, in my view, my opinion, my experience, that without quality, I think we have nothing to look forward to. It is the vision of this group here to still assure that this century and coming centuries, by what we do today, will also grow into a new century of higher quality. The last slide, please. So I end up with some wise words from at least two of them, of the guys here, are well known in the world. But in Denmark, we have a Danish cartoonist and humorist, Robert Storm Petersen, and his name shortly is abbreviated to Storm P. And he said many times, it's difficult to predict, particularly about the future. And when I Googled this reference, I was very surprised. Also very well-known guys in the world, the Danish Nobel Prize winner Niels Bohr, Nobel Prize winner in physics, referred to Storm P, and he said almost the same. It is exceedingly difficult to make predictions, particularly about the future. And you know also Mark Twain, and he also had that reference. It's really hard to make predictions, especially about the future. And I think it's still our problem. We don't know what will happen after the corona virus. Hopefully it will be in control very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dargar. We really enjoyed your very valuable speech. I think he gave us a well-rounded idea about the quality control after COVID-19. It's so early there, right? So you can go for the breakfast and you come back for the discussion later. All right. Actually, this session is scheduled for 1.5 hours. So 4 speeches scheduled for 1 hour, and we're gonna have a discussion for 30 minutes. But I think it's very difficult to manage time. So please rest the speakers. Please manage your time for their speech. Each speech is scheduled for 15 minutes. Okay, let's go for the next speech. Next speech is going to be offered by Dr. Kano and his friend. So you there? Professor Kano? I think they are preparing for the speech now.
So now.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. How are you?
Well, thank you. And can you see my slide?
Oh, not yet. So you're gonna control your Zoom, right?
Slide is on already.
Yes, we can see your slide.
Okay, so if you cannot control the Zoom, we have your lecture material. Okay, it's on. So it's ours or there? Okay, all right. So all set. I think you're ready for the lecture. Yes. I think we need to go to the first page.
No,
Now we
let
are,
me,
yeah,
yeah, bye.
yeah, we're almost there. 3, 2,
Okay.
1, yeah.
Okay, let me
Okay.
start. Okay. So, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Let me talk about that building society quality toward with the COVID-19 society. Okay, we are not the post-corona. We don't think that say post-corona did not come so soon. We must say together with corona. That is my point of view. Okay? So how is the current status of COVID-19 in ANQ countries? How about non-ANQ countries? Let's see it in terms of infected cases and deaths person per million. So this number one chart, can you see my pointer? Can you see my pointer? Oh no, okay. How about this? Can you see my pointer?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, understand. Very good. So that to say this is number one slide. This is the x-axis. We plot that infected case per million of the population, normalized by population, in terms of million. And then y-axis, deaths per million. So now that in this scale, that we can find Singapore, UAE, we can see UAE, Kazakhstan, Russia, Iran. Then we have so many crowded, then we expanded it here. This is the super owner scale. So this is the owner scale, not super, this is wrong, owner scale, okay? And then, no, this is super owner scale, but no, this is owner scale. So this is expanded, this part. Oh, sorry, you cannot see that, okay. So that this is expanded this part, and then you can see like Nepal and Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Indonesia, and then again that say now we can see this crowded area. Then come here. This is at the super owner scale. Then you can find that Hong Kong, Japan, Korea. So then here we have one more. That is that ultra super owner scale. That is done by Vietnam, Taiwan, Thailand, Sri Lanka. Today we have that we accept Sri Lanka as the 18th member of organization, and then China. So now from this. So how do we explain the difference of infected case and death between different two countries? Let's explain it with process and quality of society. So now that here you can see this left side shows that this is that flow for the process for the quality assurance process for products and services. But then the right side, so here you can see this is that the COVID-19 process. In this case, we have the society, inspection, and the medical treatment. In the first wave, in this situation in Japan, we talk a lot about inspection and medical. Now we are we are finishing the second wave. Maybe you may have the third wave. In this situation, we must pay attention more about society. Then now we consider about that the society quality. So how do we define this? In this case, let's say we pay attention to Aristotle because he was the first to talk on the subject of quality in a systematic way. In his book Metaphysics, he defined quality into the two meanings. One is that difference of real substance. The second is that good or bad. And then he showed the example. That is that to say a man is different from a horse. Of course, we are different from a horse. And then that a man has a 2 legs, but the horse has a 4 legs. Number of legs is the quality to show the difference between man and horse. So that is. So we borrow this method. Now that say we define that the society quality. In this case, that say under the COVID-19 pandemic situation, let's discuss the 2 societies, such as COVID-19 pandemic society, COVID-19 free society. The former showed inferiority, while the later shows excellence. We can define quality society or society quality as a fundamental difference between the 2 types of society. Society quality can be evaluated by number of infected cases and the number of the deaths normalized by population in millions. Then let's discuss factors to influence cases and deaths. So now, quality of society for COVID-19 can be expressed in terms of infected cases and death. What are the factors to influence this? There are 5 factors, such as first, virus, and the second, people's activity, B, communication. Well, B1 is real communication, like face-to-face. B2 is the virtual communication. C, the age. D, PCR testing. Now that first the virus. In this situation, that to say, we call it that factor Z. And then now we have one more that to say, the virus. So virus was carried from outside by people through business trips, tourism, homecoming, cargoes, and so on. Broadly speaking, it is due to the activity people. Let's call the people's activity as factor A. Then we have a proverb say, the mouth is the source of all the disaster. But also we can say, the mouth is the source of the COVID-19. So if everybody talk only himself or herself, 2 weeks, corona disappears. So that is that. So that this can we sometimes need such face-to-face communication and dining together when we need communication with others. Therefore, let's call communication as factor B, which consists of that real communication as the B1, and also virtual communication B2. Everybody is strongly recommended to shift from real communication to virtual communication. However, for unavoidable reason, when performance rests communication we should avoid the 3C, crowd spaces, crowded places, close contact settings. We must avoid those 3Cs. This is necessary for the real communication. So then, in this case, now this is the data. Okay, these figures show that the death total in Japan as of September by age group, while COVID-19 is not so not fearful disease for less than 60 years old. However, it's terrible for the age because 85% of the total death due to corona came from over 70 years old. So, so in the case that we say, if Shakespeare was here now, he said the frailty name is waste rather than frailty name is woman. So that is factor C. And in addition, also in case of that stage of the event, such as sport viewing, or drama, or theater, music, chorus, so on. In this situation, players are different from the guests. Players especially should be must be assured he's negative from COVID-19. For this purpose, we need timely PCR testing. So now, coexisting with society COVID-19, at least before vaccine, we need to compromise anti-COVID-19 with economics. Then we need guidelines, facility by facility, event by event, activity by activity, and how we can prevent that the corona. And we need PDCA for its realization, standardization, PDC. We need TQM for society. So now, in the COVID-19, the eradication society, this is the one policy. However, in this policy, we have already experienced many countries like lockdown, like this. Say we need that forced isolation implemented as part of the containment policy, effective in the early stage when inferior is observed in the limited areas. COVID-19, it is already widely spread in society and difficult to eradicate. If we are to eradicate COVID-19, isolation must be thorough over the long term, causing economic hardship and eventually bankruptcy. By this reason, Japan, we don't take this. We are considering about that the coexisting society with COVID-19. Fortunately, a serious case is rarely seen, particularly for not aged people. And the case facility, not fatality rate in the second wave has become lower than the first wave in Japan. Finding a way to control the risk of infection in daily life below an acceptable level and to live with COVID-19 is a practical solution. So in this case, here you can see this red line. This red line shows that compromise. If this line is come to the left, it is less compromised, but if it comes to be more right, it means comes to be pandemic, you are more compromised. So in this way, so how to keep this? This is the job of the government. And then for now, in this situation, we need that some guideline for each case. But in this real communication, like various events. But for this purpose, I have no time to discuss it. But to say, in order to do this, one thing I want to say: in this situation, we need a mixed action with factor A, B, C, and D. So, 감사합니다. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the your valuable speech. I think Professor Gano, he gave us so many questions and insight we need to consider when we build up the society quality toward with Corona society. Okay, then now we have 30 more minutes. I'm not sure we can finish up the 2 more speeches. But anyway, let's go for the next one. Next speech will be offered by Mr. Janek Mehta. He is Chairman and Managing Director of TQMI. He's going to talk about COVID-19 and its impact on people and the way business and quality is managed. Mr. Mehta is there.
So I'm very much here.
Okay, hello. So
Hi.
you're ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready. So can I share the screen?
Sure.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Yes?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It
Good.
is visible now.
All right, thank you. So you can start your speech now.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Let me put it on the right. Namaste. It's an Asian greeting to say Vibhavan to you. And it's time agnostic. So any time of the day we can say that. Namaste. So let me share my thoughts today. I'll try and keep it within 15 minutes allotted to me. The way I'll go around is first we'll talk about, briefly cover world COVID-19 status, strategies by companies around the world to overcome business difficulties, then impact on quality professionals, and sharing some of my personal experiences within India as to how we are attempting to cope with it. Of course, you don't need to spend time on that. This is from Johns Hopkins, looking red all over the place, more than 40 million, almost 41 million cases, and increasing. So that trend can be seen as of 20th October, 41 million cases, 380,000 deaths every day, and total deaths 1.1 million, and daily deaths around 6,585. What's interesting to see is that while the case rate is going up, daily case rate, the death rate is stabilizing. Sure indicates that the ability to cope with or treat the COVID patient has improved. But we don't know what the future holds for us. Generally believe the winter season and the second wave will overwhelm many of the countries. Europe and USA are particularly witnessing that. I think in a way Asia has been fortunate. I don't know why, partly because of our effort, but I'm sure there must be some other reasons as well. So I'm going to share with you that I'm one of the participants in the McKinsey's, they have a program where they carry out surveys periodically. So they've been carrying out surveys on COVID-19, and I get the survey questions and I give my opinion, and they do it with thousands of companies around the world. And this was the last one on August 27 that I got a report from. So a new McKinsey report lays out what it will mean for companies to switch from running on adrenaline to making organizational speed a permanent part of their cultures. What's coming is after the lifting of the lockdowns, companies have worked very, very hard to deliver their products to the customers under very difficult circumstances. Everybody is working hard to increase delivery of products on time, increase revenue, increase profitability, so that they remain economically viable. But this can't be seen forever. The suggestion is organizational speed, a permanent part of their culture, it has to be. So this is another outcome from a survey conducted by McKinsey's. This was done in the last week of July. So 30th July, it was published, the outcome of the World Business Strategies. So I picked up one of the slides which projects tomorrow's organization may be different from the past. This is obvious. What the C-suite survey shows that fit for purpose model for speed is flatter organization with much less hierarchy and streamlined decision rights, faster information flows and decision making, embedded by data and analytics, cross-functional teams collaborating to tackle common missions through test and learn approach, flexible ways of working, including affinity for hybrid, remote, and persons, and so on, dynamic and agile and resilient. The outcomes they have seen through this kind of an approach over the last couple of months post-lockdown, faster speed to market, first to act in a market with trends, customer needs, and talent acquisition. So how do we be the first one to interact and deliver? Increased customer responsiveness. What they found that some of the companies are reporting 6 to 10 times increase in testing throughput from the testing company's own testing facilities. Throughput has increased by 6 to 10 times. 50 to 200% reduction in time to launch new customer experiences. So the launch time has reduced substantially. So these are the great benefits they have seen through what these companies have done. And greater efficiency and return in invested capital, performance orientation, and employee satisfaction. Another slide shows in study that across business area, the largest leap in digitization is the share of offerings that digital in nature. So average share of products or services that are partially or fully digitized. So the data is from 2017 onwards. There was a certain rate of digitization which was happening, global adoption of acceleration of this new technologies. Suddenly from December 2019 to July 2000, rate of acceleration has substantially increased globally. Of course, it seems to be well increased in Asia Pacific, Europe, not so well, and the US is showing the highest acceleration. So it just shows that they've been able to achieve those results and get a new normal by use of digitization as a means. Not that it is anything new. Many companies have been attempting to do it for a long period of time, but the speed was not so high. There were issues. So what are the key learnings we take from here? One is technology is driving the change, enabling speed, accuracy, and agility. Do it faster, quicker, better. Organizations are questioning the slow speed of change that is pre-COVID. What they've found that sometimes it took them years to carry out certain changes and certain innovations. But post-COVID, they're able to do it in days. So the mindset has undergone a bit of a change, that the speed of change has increased substantially. Acceptability of speed of change and the new thoughts has increased in these companies. And technology is enabling real-time data in large quantities, more accurately with much less human effort. is, of course, the benefit we all know about. Analytics and machine learning makes it possible to provide possible solutions that could be validated in parallel with much shorter time. I think this is obvious the way the vaccine is being developed. While earlier it would take many years, 4, 5, 10 years. But this time, because of the artificial intelligence and analytics, they're able to compress that time to maybe 1 year or 2 years. That is a kind of a thing happening in many companies today. Also, what we see is every engineer or manager is expected to achieve stated objectives with the help of technology. And he's also, or has imbibed the science of quality engineering and industrial engineering. They're no longer dependent upon the quality professional per se, but many of them learned the art of how to use quality technologies to improve their business performance. So the dependence on the quality professional to that extent has reduced. Well, world quality strategies post-COVID-19 need to take these realities into consideration. Now, this post-COVID, as Dr. Kano said, very debatable thing. When is post-COVID? We just started. We're in the midst of the COVID, and no one knows. At least I don't know. When will we get to a stage called post-COVID, or will there ever be a stage called post-COVID, or learning to live with COVID as a reality, like we do with influenza? So what I would like to do is share my experience. I can't talk about the rest of the world as to what we are attempting to do. So what actually didn't start today. What is happening is a trend, as you saw in the previous slide, and as you saw here. None of these fit for purpose operating models are new. Flatter organization, faster, cross-functional. It's known to all of us. What is new is the use of technology to make the deliverables much better than what we could do in the past. And the acceleration has increased in terms of adoption of new technologies. So my organization, I'm going to share TKMI. It's a 28-year-old company in India in the field of quality management, consulting and training, mostly consulting. We recognized maybe about in 2017 that business as usual for our organization as quality organization is very, very risky. So we need to adopt. So what we did, we invited an investor, a strategic investor who is specialized in information and communication technology, IoT, analytics, etc., to bring a new way of thinking in the company. Okay? And then we also simultaneously tried to develop some strategic relationship with some startup companies which are already doing it well and learn along with that. So this experience sharing I will attempt now. So as an organization, we create a foundation of quality management through customer orientation, quality focus, fact-based culture, 5W and 1H data management. That's our core strength, like most quality organizations. Right. Then what we attempted to do was set up a division for use of information technology or information communication technology. And we have, as of now, developed a product called 4E, for effective deployment of daily management and policy management. And we use the learning we took from Dr. Kano on daily management, and then developing a tool for QA metrics, quality and process efficiency. Okay, so this is what we are attempting to do internally. At the same time, we built a relationship with a company, a startup company called Entangles. It has become the largest automotive digital twin and machine learning company in India. In a very short span of time, we invested in them in 2017, and we're seeing the results come forth, and I'll share some of that with you. And going forward, we plan to have a similar relationship with companies. For example, if a company comes to us, we need to improve energy efficiency. I can use the conventional method of quality management, Six Sigma, PDCA to improve energy efficiency. Okay, but if I can use technology like IoT and analytics along with it, we can give a better results. See some noise around there? Can we mute? Okay, so what also we see is for the last 3-4 years, most of our clients, as part of their strategy, one of the strategic objective is digitalization. When we saw this happening, that's why we started moving in this direction. So when a company wants some help on energy, then we may tie up with a startup company who is specialized in IoT and analytics and energy. So we're not trying to build competency in every field. We'll build relationship with companies with that kind of knowledge and experience and work on it. So just to give you an example of 4-year deployment of daily and policy management. This is a product we have developed and we have just launched, tested in 3 companies. The customers are very happy. Now we're in the process of regular implementation in those 3 companies. So what it first does is visualization of data for KPIs at each and every level of the organization, showing current performance, both data and trends, which earlier was not possible. And we make it visible and easy for you. And we go to 2 level, 3 level, 4, 5, 6, 7 level below the top, it's possible. At a glance, we view performance as to see the red colors on the bars on the right-hand side. I mean, green means we have achieved the target. Red means we have not achieved the target. If it's orange means we are close to it, but still not achieved. So at a glance, one can see all. If I am in my area of work, I can see the KPIs of all my subordinates and their subordinates, and then focus on where I need to work. Then what we did, same thing. This deployment is actually, I think, the key of this tool. What we are attempting to do is go as low as possible, people empowerment tool, enabling employees to manage their work processes effectively and efficiently. What we found, the whole lot of data is available, but it's not available at the point of use. When a person here needs the data, he doesn't have it. Machine operator, he needs the data. He doesn't have the data in usable format. So we're trying to make it available to him so that he can improve his process efficiency and process effectiveness. And also the dashboard shows how many people report to me, what are the various KPIs, at what stage it is, are they being complied with, are they followed, are they not being followed. There's some KPIs which are not there and so on. Then we bring in analytics here, and you're familiar with the Pareto chart, and we have a trend chart. These are not control charts. For each KPI undertaking, understanding trends over time and identification of abnormalities on all 4 M's. So that's a challenge. We're looking at the abnormalities, both machine material method and man, so that the stratified data is available to people to act on. So it covers thousands of data points or on 4 M's used in usable formats in real time and automatically wherever it is possible. So what it does in real time, it makes information available to me in the usable format. So I don't have to go looking and hunting for data. And I can use it to do the analysis and take business decisions. Also, what we found interestingly, it enables self-assessment. When I know my performance on a day-to-day basis, I can assess my performance and see where I need to improve. Similarly, my boss can see. So I think is a very powerful approach, totally different than the annual appraisal system or a quarterly appraisal system. So integration with SAP, PLCs, warehouses, distribution control centers, all this we make it possible so that data can easily be integrated. And then, of course, we have action planning and improvement, variety of reports with current status and improvement. In version 1, we are doing it for daily management. Version 2 will go for policy management more seriously. So this is another company, Entangles, where we have invested. I'm the current chairman of this company also. What they've done is they use digital twin as a methodology, as a technology to provide solutions in the mobility space using physics-based analytics and machine learning to mine data streams, deriving actionable insights and KPI-centric business value for its customers. For example, they have a variety of customers. And interestingly, when they went to the OEMs, none of them wanted it. So they went to the fleets, and fleets used it. Now fleets are putting the pressure on the OEMs, you better give me this product, okay? So using adaptive algorithms, Entangles provides data-driven, accurate, and cost-effective prognostic solution, which enables the customer to increase uptime and operational efficiency of the assets. One example is the Red Bus. In India, they've already done it. There are 320 million data points they use every day, 1.2 million kilometers they track every day. And now Red Bus is asking them to do it in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. They are moving in that direction. So what we do is we really look for problem being faced by the customer and then find a solution which will meet the requirements, like we do in the quality management. But here we do it with the help of technology. Another example, a very interesting one is just to explain, a digital twin is a combination of a computational model and a real-world system designed to monitor, control, and optimize its functionality through data and feedback, both simulated and real. So it helps in improving product design and virtual prototypes, predictive maintenance, process planning, and optimization. So basically focusing on prognostics, not diagnostics, and even at the component level. A good example is like a turbocharger and intercooler. Carry out a 3D analysis. And what we found, 3D regression model for executing outlier analysis and maps boost pressure in the intake manifold of engine with RPM, engine load, and normal distribution. So here you can see, this is normal how it operates. There's a loss of power here. So an underboost alert was sent to customer and 5 leakages were discovered in the intercooler when a soap bubble check was performed. So they were able to repair the machine and the equipment much before the engine ceased. So through this kind of a process, post-repair power output of engine improved and fuel economy improved by 18%. So what happened, Intel bought a company called Mobileye, okay? And they were using it for the purpose of ADAS, as we all know that, automatic passive ADAS, advanced driver assistance systems. They're finding it difficult. So Entangle as an organization was approached, and they are helping now Intel Corporation to use their Mobileye more effectively through using the analytics of Entangles. So they're in the process of rolling it out. All tests have already been done. So it will lead to active passive ADS for Indian roads, vehicle diagnostics, driver behavior monitoring, operational automation, and optimization. Then there is another company called BPW. It is the largest trailer manufacturer in Europe. So they interface with tractor electronic braking system for remote diagnostics and improvement. So they started work with them as well for improvement. And the largest automotive manufacturer in India, which is 50% market share. In Euro 6 or BS6 norms, they're supposed to control emission and give the required fuel efficiency on an on-time basis, real-time basis. So they had their own devices, but they were not able to do it. They've approached Entangles, who is not developing the algorithm for them to be able to do it effectively. So OEM and Entangles to leverage real-time diagnostic connectivity to comply with highly constricted limits for the exhaust emissions. And something similar they're doing with the electric vehicle. How do we predict? Well, electric vehicles have onboard systems, but some of them they find it's not accurate. So they're using Entangles devices now to analyze the data and make it more accurate. And these are all internationally well-known companies which are operating electric vehicles here. So my ultimate last 1 or 2 slides is, what is the way forward for quality professionals? We need to show relevance by effectively contributing, otherwise it will become irrelevant. Reliability of data being collected, big challenge in most companies. Actually, we've experienced so many times. We've worked with companies which have taken the multinational companies' help in using AI. We've gone there and improved their productivity or yields while they couldn't, basically because the data was not correct. So domain process knowledge at Gemba and facilitation through soft skills, continual improvement using PDC or Six Sigma approach with appropriate use of statistical quality control tools, visualization, communication skills to relate improvement in easy to understand, story format like QC story, better understanding of IT needs and modeling for effective interface. So we don't have to become experts in all this. We need to have a better understanding and use the experts that are available to deliver the high performance results for our clients. So in summary, I would say as professionals from the field of quality management, we have a choice, either adapt to changing circumstances and survive or decline and perish. And my concern is post-lockdown, most of clients are not interested in quality right now. They're busy in producing, delivering. And over a period of time, I've found since the artificial intelligence, all this has improved, the company's reliance on people like us to carry out improvements is gradually coming down. Industrial engineers are competing for the same space. So unless until we change and adopt those methodologies, we will find it very difficult to survive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. I believe all of us enjoyed your valuable lecture. I think his lecture is so helpful for the companies when they considering new business strategy after this COVID. Okay, we don't have that much time, so let's move to the final speech. Let me introduce the last speaker, who spent most of his time as a leader in the field of quality. His name is Dr. Gregory Watson. You there?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So you control
Wonderful.
the lecture
Yes,
material?
I'll control the slides.
All right,
Yep,
thank you.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So we've had some very good introductions to the situation in the broad sense historically where we're going. Dr. Kano has given us an excellent idea of the current challenge we have with COVID. I appreciate what Yanik Mehta has been presenting about how to rise to the challenge and the particular challenge it gives us as quality professionals in needing to deal with sort of this, what I'm calling global turbulence. And the question is, how do we craft a capability to move forward? When I look at this, one of the things I see is I go back to the ANQ quality studies that have been done for the last 25 years. And we start seeing that there's what I think of as a whirlwind of change. So many things happening and so many different strategies. I won't read all of them here, but you'll I'm sure, get copies of the materials. And we start seeing that all of these things have been known for a long time, since the early 1990s, that these are things that we have to do, but we haven't actually gotten prepared. We have not actually made the transitions. When COVID came along, we start seeing that we are forced into a sense of urgency. And I think it's interesting as we start seeing, particularly the study that Yanik just promoted from McKinsey, that in basically 8 months, we have 2 years of capability. And that's the way that high technology companies in Silicon Valley have learned to operate on a regular basis, that they're operating at this digital speed, which is very different than what we see in most normal companies. And so as we start taking a look at this, no matter what the state of COVID is, we're coming to a new normal. We see the UN has come up with their sustainable development goals. And what we see with that is that they have 17 different goals of different ways of thinking. What do we mean by goodness for society? And Dr. Kano going back and thinking about Aristotle and the very difference to say, pursue the good, avoid the bad. And I think this is becoming, if you will, our new definition of quality, sort of not a transactional definition, which most of them are. Jens had talked about this in history, how we have transactional definitions dealing with things we pass from suppliers to customers. But a transformative definition, which is talking about how we think in terms of the philosophic concept of what are we trying to do for society. And this raises this whole question. So we see many different things happening. We see technology disruption happening, and we then are faced with technological complexity. The social disruption is happening. We're faced with how do we deal with social responsibility? This requires social innovation, but do we actually have comprehensive inclusion of everybody in that area? And then we have technological innovation. And the question is, how do we handle this technological agility to be able to cope with these sorts of things? So as we look at this, we start seeing there's two things happening at once. We're living in a socio-technical system. The social systems about the people and how the organizations work. The technical systems about the technologies and the activities that we're doing. And so we start seeing the hardware and software of these systems are evolving. And as we start changing ourselves, we start seeing that we have to understand how do we do work, SDCA, how do we improve work, Kaizen PDCA, and then how do we transform work with breakthrough and technologies. And as we're looking at this, we see there's two different things happening. We say there's a need to reduce complexity to design innovative solutions. So the underlying design change is we have to move from disorder, technical complexity, social complexity, to order. And so we do this on the design side by process innovation, by thinking about engineering our processes. On the social side, we do this by systems thinking, understanding a broader way to how we're going to combine our thinkings together. So we start seeing that quality of human life obliges us to collaborate. Dr. Ishikawa gave us his benediction for humanity. What's our purpose? As we see that quality is going to be related and spreading everywhere in the world. Costs lowered, production improved, raw materials, energy saved. People are over the world are happy. So Deming had talked about people needing to be having pride in work, joy in life. And so this is what we need to have as this inclusive objective for society in the future, as a good for all of society. And we start saying we need to reinvent ourselves. You know, I take a look as an engineer and working in technologies and artificial intelligence for over 30 years, and I see that the quality community is relatively naive to what we do, and that we have to understand the scope of quality, and we have to extend that to less developed nations, where we find they are struggling just to do basics. I was in Africa, and I was amazed to see that they still had no idea that improvement is a part of the daily management system. They thought if you follow the checklist, you're doing quality. We have to move beyond manufacturing, service, business uses. We have to get into engineering. We have to get into medicine. And we start seeing these disciplines want to apply science. So we have to become more of a quality science in applying to them. We have to create more profound knowledge of those quality sciences and get to a deeper level so we can be remain relevant. I share Yannick's perspective at the end of his conversation where he says, you know, we have to actually realize if we don't learn, if we don't grow, we will become irrelevant. And that's my greatest fear for the quality community, that we will no longer have the relevance because the world will move by us and they'll be able to see things directly from the systems, and they will make many misinterpretations. As a specialist in AI, one of the things I'm concerned about is if we get the models wrong, we don't know. If we teach an AI model the wrong way, it learns the wrong things. If it develops things in different ways, it might make overly sensitive decisions because it doesn't really understand law of large numbers and how things apply, and we can actually get false positives out of many of these things. So we have to embrace these new technologies, integrate them in quality methods. We have to emphasize the data and evidence-based decision-making in the things that we're doing. Involve all the levels of our organization and every one of the disciplines in the pursuit of quality. Total quality must actually become total in everything that we do. We have to serve all of our customers, and that means the commercial, the internal, as well as the social customers. So we have to think about Taguchi's concept, how quality is the loss to society after we see that impact, moving beyond where we are. And we have to harmonize strategic improvements with our daily management systems. And then we have to think about the culture. How will we establish mutual trust? How will we establish happiness, prosperity, particularly when we realize that these technologies will affect people in very disparate ways? Some people will be able to cope with those technologies because they're prepared and they're educated. Many other people, they will seem like they're mysteries, and they will not be able to cope. They will not gain prosperity. They will not gain happiness, and they will lose their trust. So most importantly, we have to figure out, how do we do no harm to society or to the planet? And so we have to broaden our sense of what do we mean by quality. It cannot just be transactional quality, but as Dr. Kano began with the concepts from Aristotle, it has to be this concept of transformational quality. How do we deal with quality overall for all of societies? So quality has to be a persistent pursuit of goodness, coupled tightly with that relentless avoidance of badness. And we see that it needs to be non-discriminatory, egalitarian, so it applies to all equal, inclusive, comprehensive, and most of all, it must do no harm. So in the future, our challenge is quality needs to be good for people, good for planet, and doing no harm to either. So thank you very much. I'm hopefully I've gotten through this and I didn't talk too fast, but maybe we've gotten and stayed a little bit more on track. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. I thought you were kind of a rapper, but you're so good at the managing time. Thank you very much. I think the speech gave us so much insight about the new globalization after COVID-19. Okay, wow, but the thing is, we don't have time for a discussion. I'm so regret that I couldn't save time for discussion with these four distinguished scholars and practitioners. I'm sorry, but we may look for another chance to hear them. It may be during the closing session. Maybe we're gonna get some comments from these four scholars and practitioners. Okay, so I think I should wrap up this session for now. And we're gonna have a 20-minute break. So we come back at 4 o'clock local time in Seoul. So we're gonna have a 20-minute break. But during the session, plenary session, we couldn't have that much practitioners with some technical problems. So we're gonna solve it, and then I hope we can see more practitioners during the session or the ceremony. Okay, so we'll be back with the award ceremony in 20 minutes, 4 o'clock local time in Seoul. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you. We are about to start our ICAR silver medal presentation ceremony. I hope you all get back to this room and then pay attention to this very important ceremony. Are you ready? Dr. Dalgard, your lecture was wonderful. I was really missing long and delicious discussion session. Can you hear me? I think he is having a hard time to hear our voice. Are you all ready? Dr. Lotto, Lai, thank you for your pictures. Yeah, is voice here? Do we hear the voice?
Hello.
Oh,
I
okay,
can
okay.
hear you.
Thank you very much. Well, it is time for us to present four important Ishikawa Kano silver medals. I'm really honored to host this session for this ANQ. Well, actually, this award has been prepared a long time ago, and let us hear important introductory speech from Mr. Janak Mehta from India. Mr. Mehta, please, it's your turn to say some introductory speech. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. I'd like to briefly give the history of Ishikawa Kano Award, because many people who may be new to this and how we started and where we are today. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Can we move on to the next slide?
Yeah, just wait. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Right. So, we started in 2008 some discussions on creating an award for ANQ, which will be considered as good as the best in the world, whether it's from ASQ or UQ, etc. So in 2009, we established that award. The first one was given at the ANQ Congress in 2010. Then in 2016, we felt a need to enhance the image of the award and at the same time provide opportunity for more professionals from various member organizations to be recognized. Because this IK award at that time was given maybe once in a year, once in 2 years. But there was a need to recognize more people. In that context, it was decided to enhance it. Next slide, please. So in 2017, 2 categories were created. One is a gold category, a gold medal. That will be exclusive to be amongst the highest in the world, to be awarded once in 2 to 3 years. We've created another category called silver medal to be given up to 3 awards in a year for a variety of contributions. So one of the requirements was that only individuals working in Asia would be entitled for the award. It's not an award for international audience. Next slide, please. So gold category is known as the IK Gold Medal. It is to be awarded to professionals from the field of quality management who made unique contribution to the cause of quality through his or her work in development of theory, application, and dissemination of quality principles, concepts, and methods over a long period of time, and to do so with humility and compassion. And the objective is should have impacted many regions of the world, not only Asia. Asian, but who would have impacted many regions, Europe, USA, Africa, wherever it is. Next, please. Well, the silver category, or IK silver medal, was to be awarded to professionals from the field of quality management who made outstanding contribution to the cause of quality in their respective country and in Asia. They needn't go outside Asia. If they have done, no problem with that. But in their own country, and at least one or two is within Asia, outside their own country, and at least for 15, 20 years. And there were three requirements there. For academic work in advancing theory of quality and its application, for effective application of quality principles and methods through executive action and or stroke consultative process, like for example, practitioners, executives and consultants. And third was for widespread dissemination of quality in the respective country and another country in Asia. Might have been head of a quality body who has promoted quality extensively in his own country or other countries. So contribution of the nominee could be in any one of the focus areas given above, while contributing to other two areas. Next slide, please. Since it's named after Ishikawa Kano, so we obviously needed their permission, which they were so generous to provide that. In case of Professor Ishikawa, it was not him, but his family. So thanks to eponymous Professor Koro Ishikawa and eponymous Professor Noriaki Kano, the two legendary leaders and their families, for permission to use their name for the award. An eponym is a person, place, or a thing after whom or after which something is named or believed to be named. These adjectives that derived from eponym, including eponymous and eponymic. That's the rationale. Next, please. So briefly about Professor Ishikawa, is considered one of the pioneers of the evolution of total quality management in its holistic approach as it is perceived today. He did this through his company-wide way approach that goes beyond the traditional TQC. He substantially influenced the quality revolution in Japan and also other parts of the world. His most prominent legacy is in people involvement, particularly at the Gemba, through QC circles, for harnessing their emotional and intellectual potential, for managing their work for the benefit of all stakeholders. He is the inventor of the Ishikawa diagram. Sorry, this is not visible on the screen. Okay, so this is just in brief his contribution. Of course, he has done so much more. Next slide, please. And Professor Kano, who is amongst us, and he is amongst the leaders in the field of quality management in the world, who made substantial contribution. His most widely used legacy is the Kano model for attractive quality creation that has influenced product development process in all sectors of economy around the world. He was prominent amongst those who contributed to the foundation of ANQ and was its first chairperson and currently honorary chairperson. He's the only one who has been the recipient of the highest honors awards, such as honorary member of IQ, ASQ, EOQ. EOQ doesn't have an honorary member, but they have a medal, a bottle medal, which has been awarded to him, and besides many other organizations. Next, please. These are two images of the awards, the gold medal and the silver medal. Our hope is that those who will win this award will inspire many others to make similar contribution, like it was done by Professor Ishikawa and Professor Khan. Next slide, please. So I would like to suggest, Professor Shen, you can take over from here and in the citations and get the awardees to make their presentations through video. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's give a big hand to Janak Mehta. I appreciate your passion and preparation for this ICAR, the silver medal. Thanks to your great effort, this year's we have chance to present 4 silver medals. The first silver medal goes to Mr. Yukihiro Ando from Japan. Well, are you here in this room right now? Well, since we have so many,
I'm here.
Yeah, thank you. Since we have about more than 123 participants, it's hard to recognize from the screen. Mr. Yukihiro Ando is President and CEO, Ando Engineering Office Limited Partnership. He is applied for as consultant. Yukihiro Ando has made outstanding contribution to the cause of quality by guiding many well-known companies in Japan, Thailand, India, USA, and Singapore over a long period in their effort to use total quality management for enhancing business performance. In particular, dissemination of daily management around the world through publication. While at the same time, he made extensive voluntary effort to promote quality related to education and standards formulation through Japanese Society for Quality Control, JSQC, Union of Japanese Scientists and Engineers, the famous JUSE, JUSE, and the Association of Overseas Technical Cooperation and Sustainable Partnership, AOTS, Asian Network for Quality, ANQ, International Academy for Quality, IAQ, and International Organization for Standards, ISO, within Japan, Asia, and worldwide. Well, congratulations, and let us see the video containing the presentation ceremony as well as his acceptance speech. Please.
This is to certify that Yukihiro Ando has made outstanding contribution to the cause of quality by guiding many well-known companies in Japan, Thailand, India, USA, and Singapore over a long period in their effort to use total quality management for enhancing business performance. In recognition thereof, the Ishikawa Kano Award Committee of Asian Network for Quality hereby bestows the Ishikawa Kano Silver Medal 2020. Janak Mehta, Chairman, the Ishikawa Kano Award Committee, Asian Network for Quality, Paniswan Jamanarwech, Chairperson, Asian Network for Quality. Congratulations.
Let's give big hands.
Dr. Paniswan, Chairperson of the Asian Network for Quality. Mr. Mehta, Chairman of the Ishikawa Kano Award Committee of ANQ. Professor Singh and Dr. Lee, co-chairpersons of ANQ Congress 2020. Professor Munechika, board member of the ANQ and the president of JSQC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yukihiro Ando. It's a great honor to receive this prestigious award. I have been working as a TQM consultant more than 40 years. When I started this career, I might be understood as a peculiar fellow because at that time, if you want to be a consultant, you must be an experienced old guy. Now I'm getting old but I was just a young boy till yesterday. So I have to thank everyone from the very onset of my career. Because of you, I could start and continue my job. First, I want to thank my teachers, professors, and colleagues of TQM. Because of you, I learned many tools, techniques, procedures, and principles of TQM. Second, I want to thank ANQ, JSQC, JUSE, AOTS, IAQ, and other TQM-related organizations. Because of you, I have been given excellent opportunities to learn, brush up, and spread the TQM. Also, I must thank many patient clients who kindly accepted an immature TQM consultant and have given many tough challenges. Because of you, I learned many difficulties in promoting TQM, and because of you, I could learn how to overcome those difficulties. And because of you, I have experienced impressive success with you. To conclude my speech, I would like to express my maximum appreciation to Dr. Noriaki Kano, who is my teacher, mentor, and top boss. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Give him big hands. Congratulations. Where are you, Mr. Ando? Can you speak hello to us? Maybe not in this screen. I can see him, but thank you. Congratulations again. It's a really wonderful experience that we can share the ceremony experience through the online. I mean, it's almost as we do it offline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I see you. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's give him another big hands. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, the second silver award will be presented to Mr. Li Ziyong from China, the chairman of the board of Yanzhou Coal Mining Company. Are you here, Mr. Li Ziyong? Okay, I hear something, but I can't understand it. But let me read my the citation for this award. Yeah. Thank you. Mute, please. Thank you. Yeah, mute, please. Okay. Well, Li Ziyong has made outstanding contribution to the cause of quality through effective application of quality principles and methods in coal mining companies in China and its subsidiaries in Australia. As the chairman of the board of Yanzhou Coal Mining Company, the second largest coal company in China, he created a unique quality culture for development of new technologies in coal industry, achieving outstanding customer rating, winning highest national recognition, and becoming amongst the best mining companies in the world. Yeah, let us see again his acceptance speech, please.
尊敬的亚洲质量网组织，我是兖州煤业股份有限公司董事长李希勇。首先感谢中国质量协会的推荐，同时由衷的感谢亚洲质量网组织把四川新兴首页奖授予我。作为亚洲极具权威的质量大奖，这份荣誉既是对我个人的鼓励与鞭策，也标志着兖州煤业作为中国能源行业的杰出企业代表，在质量管理方面得到了国际社会的认可。兖州煤业是以煤炭、煤化工、现代物流贸易为主导产业的国际化特大能源企业，拥有全球4地上市平台，是中国唯一一家2次荣获全国质量奖、亚洲质量作业奖和全球作业绩效奖的煤炭企业。兖州煤业的质量工作一直与时代同频共振，对质量的不懈追求 已经成为了企业文化的重要内涵。多年来，兗州煤业始终秉承创造智慧动能、引领能源变革的企业使命，以作业绩效模式引领着力构建国际化、智慧型、创新型的质量控制体系，推动企业当量、品牌实力和行业的影响力不断取得新成效，引领能源行业转型升级、变革突破。质量是人类智慧的结晶，是企业赖以生存的根基。提升质量是兴其之道、富其之本、强其之策。今天的荣誉将激励着我们继续前行。我将带领兗州煤业牢固树立强烈的质量意识，坚持精益求精、厚植工匠文化，着力打造产品高端、技术先进、管理卓越和服务优质的世界品牌，推动兗煤质量走向世界、融入世界、造福世界。谢谢大家。
Thank you very much. Give him big applause. Thank you. Well, I think as the Janak Mehta has mentioned, we need to see more the entrepreneurs apply for this ICAR Gold or Silver Award, and then recognize the importance of quality in not only in the area of academician, but also for the practitioners as well. Well, thank you for a wonderful speech. The third silver medal goes to Mr. Kamran Musa, Principal Consultant and CEO of the PIQC Institute of Quality in Pakistan. He has applied for as the consultant. Mr. Musa, are you in this room, in this online situation?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes, I am here.
Okay,
yes,
thank
I
you.
am here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. Yeah. I'll read the citation for this medal. Kamran Musa has made outstanding contribution to the cause of quality through training and consultancy in the field of quality management amongst many companies in Pakistan and widely disseminating knowledge of quality principles and methods in Pakistan and the Middle East countries. I thank you, and then I congratulate you, and then let us see his acceptance speech through the video clips. Please.
My dear friends and members of the Asian Network for Quality, the chairperson, Dr. Noriaki Kano, and all the honorary chairpersons, the chairman, ANQ, Mr. Paniswan, Mr. Janak Mehta, chairman, ANQ Award Committee, Dr. Ali Sajid, chairman, Quality and Productivity Society of Pakistan, the organizers of the Korean Society for Quality Management, and my fellow quality professionals and practitioners, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all of you and all those who will be attending the ANQ Congress 2020. On this auspicious occasion of ANQ, I am really pleased and honored to receive the Ishikawa Kano Silver Medal Award for the year 2020 and join all the other 3 recipients of this award to whom I like to congratulate as well. My special thanks to the chairman, Dr. Ali Sajid, and board members of the Quality and Productivity Society of Pakistan, who nominated me for this award, and the IKA Award Committee and its chairman, Mr. Janak Mehta, who recommended me for this award. This award actually belongs to many other fellows working for the development of quality in this country. To me, this is a shared award with my wonderful team at PIQC Institute of Quality in Lahore and Karachi, who are presently working today in the institute or worked in the past years My special acknowledgement to the great contributions of our faculty members, instructors, consultants, who are the backbone of our institute. I would also like to acknowledge the sharing of this award with my friends and colleagues from Quality and Productivity Society of Pakistan, presently led by its chairman, Dr. Ali Sajid, and also friends from the Middle East Quality Association, as well as my mentor in AOTS Japan, from where I learned and entered into the field of quality many years ago. With very special thanks to Dr. Kano, who was also my teacher and mentor. I also like to thank many of my colleagues and friends with whom I have worked for the growth of quality in this country. And my family members whose contributions and sacrifices are unmeasurable. However, the greatest of all are the blessings and kindness of Almighty Allah, who really enabled and gave us the strength and like-minded colleagues to work jointly in the line of quality. Like many other countries, Pakistan is also a progressing country. With various political, economic, and social challenges at the national as well as corporate levels, we are gradually making progress in quality towards achieving world-class manufacturing and services. There are a number of success cases in various industrial sectors in our country, like automobile, aviation, textile, software, military, and telecommunication, etc. And we hope to see even more growth in years to come. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite our friends from ANQ to visit our country and give us a chance to be their host. I, along with my team and many other fellows, are fully committed to quality and its development in the country. I'm sure that this award is an encouragement to all my team members and fellows. We all consider it a pride for our country. At the end, I'd like to thank once again the Asian Network for Quality for honoring us with the Ishikawa Kano Medal. In my humble capacity, I hope to continue working with my fellows for the development of quality and hope that forums like ANQ will continue to contribute in uplifting the quality of life in our respective countries in the whole Asian region. I like to extend my best wishes to all of you for working together as a team to bring harmony, growth, and mutual development in Asia and Asian countries, the future of quality hub in the world. Thank you and best wishes.
Congratulations. Well, it is really a wonderful acceptance speech. I hope we can have ANQ Congress in Pakistan in the near future. Really appreciate your passion in the area of quality and the productivity. Since Mr. Musa is here, do you have any additional comments face to face?
ไม่ต้องไม่รู้หนูอยากครับ
Okay. Yeah, he made some comment, but we couldn't hear from this room. But thank you again, and then
we'd like to thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, and we hope to see you in Pakistan next time in years to come for the Congress, ANQ Congress.
Thank you, appreciate it. Let's give him another big applause. Thank you, thank you. Congratulations. Well, our last, the ICAR Silver Award will be presented to Mr. Nikolai Cherosonsky, General Director, Soyuchert LLC, accreditation body and Vice President ROQ, dissemination as the administrator. Nikolai Cherosonsky has made outstanding contribution to the cause of quality, through development of standard methods and widely disseminating knowledge and implementation of quality systems and other standards methods in Russia and Central Asian countries. Congratulations, and let us see the ceremony and acceptance speech from Russia.
Dear Mr. Chairperson of Asian Network for Quality, dear participants of the Congress, colleagues, the slogan under which the Congress is held, New Quality and New Trust, speaks of the need to rethink the current events. We dream of a world where there is mutual understanding, mutual respect, and a desire to make the world a better place to live in through cooperation based on quality. I thank ANQ for recognizing the achievements of Russian specialists in quality issues. I wish the Congress participants bright presentations and new ideas. Yours, Gennady Voronin.
Dear Mr. Chairperson of Asian Network for Quality, honorable members of the Ishikawa Kana Award Committee, dear colleagues, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to you for awarding me one of the most prestigious awards in the field of quality, the Ishikawa Kana Award with the presentation of Ike Silver Medal. I'm very grateful to you for evaluating so highly my work in the field of quality. I have always been and will always remain committed to quality. On October 5th, 2020, this award was presented to me by the President of the Russian Organization for Quality, Dr. Gennady Voronin. I express my gratitude to him, as well as to the President of the Kazakh Quality Organization, Azat Abdrahmanov, for nominating me for this prestigious award. In 2021, it will be 50 years since I have been actively working in the field of quality. My first work was related to testing, then research and developing, implementing methods for evaluating the quality and reliability of products for various purposes. Since 1996, I work in certification of management systems of organizations for compliance with the requirements of the ISO standards, as well as conducting research. For today, I have published more than 75 scientific articles, 6 books, and developed a methodological guide for students. Currently, research work is continuing with the Interstate Aviation Committee, which unites 11 countries, including 7 Asian countries, to assess the impact of hazard factors on the safety of fourth-generation aircraft operated in the far north. I'm a member of the board of the Russian Organization for Quality, a full member of the Academy of Quality Problems of the Russian Federation, a full member of the International Guild of Quality Professionals. I am the General Director of Soyuz Cert Limited, which employs more than 150 experts from various industries, many of whom have academic degrees. This is a team of professionals with extensive experience in practical work and enterprises, research institutes, and design bureaus in Russia. Customers of Soyuz Cert Limited are more than 600 organizations. Dear colleagues, all our activities with you are aimed at improving the quality of human life, because there is nothing in the world more significant than human life. I believe that one day, a high-quality life society will be created on Earth. I like watching videos made by astronauts from space about our Earth. We live on a beautiful and wonderful planet. Our global task is to keep it safe from wars, pandemics, and catastrophes. Thank you for your attention.
Еще раз выражаю свою искреннюю благодарность за оценку моей деятельности. Желаю Конгрессу плодотворной работы и полезному общению между людьми. Спасибо за внимание.
Congratulations. Let's give him big hands. Thank you. Well, as you see, one of the advantages of this online conference is that we can communicate through the chat room. So if you see that chat room, we are right now, 129 people are involved in this conference. And then we had about near 90 chats. If you review those the chatting, there are many congratulations goes to Dr. Musa and Cheronsky and all those recipients. That's one of the wonderful things. Good, thank you. Well, again, I'd like to congratulate 4 recipients. And we'll hear some concluding remarks by Mr. Janak Mehta, followed by the Dr. Kano's memories about the Ishikawa, about the Professor Ishikawa. So, Mr. Mehta, please give your concluding remarks for this ICA award.
Mr. Mehta, you are muted.
Yeah, I've opened it. Can I share the screen, sir? Okay.
Please, yeah, please. Please use the screen for us.
Thank you very much, Professor Shen, for conducting this ceremony, and congratulations to all the winners. So I'm going to make very brief on this. I just want to share with you a summary of where we are today. I'm sorry, it's not easily visible what I want to show with you. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It's starting from 2010 to 2017. We had given 19 awards, okay? And from 2018, when we created a gold and silver award, we've given 1 gold award in 2019, 2 silver in 2018, and 4 silver awards this year. Compliments to Mr. Dr. Musa, Kamran Musa. He is the first non-board member to receive an award. So we made it a special effort this year to see that not only board members, even those who are not board members, get an opportunity. Right. So totally 7 medals have been given. Over the years, it's 26 in all. So briefly now, I'll talk about the special contribution of Dr. Kano to IKA and ANQ. I recall on July, towards, I think, sometime in July 2002, I got a call from Dr. Kano requesting if I would come down to Tokyo in a week's time. And I consulted with some people who said, sure. We landed in Tokyo, and that was the formation of, the first discussion in July 2002 about Asia Quality Symposium morphing into an Asian Network for Quality. And it's interesting that Dr. Kano had collected enough funds from different sources to make sure those he invited, their hotel expenses and other things were taken care of, and then generated the funds to make it happen. Then we had a meeting in November 2002 where the formation of ANQ took place. And I just want to share some photographs of that meeting. July 30, 2002. First ANQ board meeting in Tokyo, where it was formed. And this is a group of people representing KSQM, CSQ, CAQ, JSQC, Hong Kong Society, Thailand, and we were there from India. So that was a good beginning. And then I have a couple of more photographs to share since this meeting is in Seoul. In 2003, spring meeting in Seoul, we took another step of making the various rules and regulations for the society. And here's a group of people who met there. And this is after the board meeting. So that 7 members then made this what we call today's ANQ. So first ANQ Congress was held in 2003. and that was 17th Asia Quality Symposium. So 16 before that, plus 18 ANQ Congresses. So we have about 34 annual symposiums stroke congresses that have been held by ANQ, starting with the Asia Quality Symposium. So I just want to share when we decided to formulate IK as a medal, as an award, Dr. Kano contributed about 30,000 US dollars as his contribution to to finance the formation of this award medal and things like that. And that went a long way. And during the initial period, at every Congress, since ANQ decided that we would like to be, austerity as an Asian trait, as an Asian value, that we will not charge too much for attendance. And he spent a lot of time collecting money from the business leaders, not only from Japan, but from other countries, so that we can meet the expenses of this. So not many people today who may know about it, that's the reason I'm explaining that. Now we have come to a stage that most of the congresses are self-sustained. Dr. Kano doesn't have to come forward and plead for getting funds. So that's quite a transition that has happened, but in the initial period, he made that contribution. At this point of time, not talking about Professor Kano's multifarious skills, competencies, knowledge, which is known to everyone. I just wanted to share that how he contributed to the establishment of ANQ, growth of ANQ, establishment of IKA medal, and contributing to its sustenance over a period of time. Thank you very much, Dr. Kano. So I would like to conclude now. The award ceremony comes to an end, and back to Professor Shen.
Thank you. Let's give him a big applause, Dr. Janak. You have done a great job. Well, before we finish the award ceremony, let us hear the memories about Professor Kaoru Ishikawa from Professor Kano. I mean, he was student of Dr. Ishikawa about I don't know, about 60 or 70 years ago. I mean, so let's invite Dr. Kano and then hear his memories with his professor. Dr. Kano, are you ready? Thank you, thank you. Please go on.
Okay, 안녕하세요. Again.
Yes, we have some technical problem, I mean, from Japan, so let us wait just a couple of minutes. Is it our problem? Oh, okay. I think Dr. Kano is trying to upload his file and then it doesn't work as intended, so let us wait.
Now, can you find my slide?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. So I think, say many of you have heard about that Professor Ishikawa, particularly his contribution to QC circles and also the pioneers of Japan and the world like this. Here, let me talk about that. His academic contribution. So that is that he gets the PhD in the engineering from University of Tokyo for the research of coal sampling in 1958. At that time, he was 43. Now, at that time in Japan, the doctoral system is different today. So that at that time, most of the faculty member apply that PhD just before the promotion to the full professorship. So that when that time he was 43, and then he just necessary for promotion to. This is very common that, not only by him. So that it's very rare to get the degree, the doctor degree in 20. That is that. So it, don't be surprised that say how so he get the degree so late. No, at that time that isn't common that. So now that to say. Maybe first to talk about the meaning of his research. In the case, let me talk about that steel industry in Japan, 1950 to 70. Around the latter half of 1950s, I was a high school student. In the class of industrial geography, we learned why Japanese steel industry could not catch up with and was behind the Western steel industry, and it was because while the steel plants were located next to the mines of iron ore in the west, the plants in Japan were located at seaside because we did not have any mines of iron ore, and we had to import it from overseas. This made Japanese steel industry less competitive. However, in the beginning of 1970s, it was reported that Japanese steel industry got #1 in the world. I was excited at the same time. I was very confused because our steel plant was still located at the seaside. But the explanation was as follows. The technology development relating to iron production made the blast furnace with high volume capacity more competitive in the quality and the cost. Then while Japanese plant built many high volume blast furnaces, but the West could not do so because the Western plants were located at the side of the iron mine and the core. The core was completely dependent on the production amount of the mine next to the plant. In addition, the mines are generally located at a very inconvenient site to carry ore and coal from domestic and overseas mines. On the other hand, the steel plant in Japan could purchase ore and coal from all over the world with cheap surface transportation. We had one more merit owing to modern sampling method developed by Kaoru Ishikawa. Contribution to development modern sampling method for bulk materials. So now let's think about that to estimate of that writing distance of the ballpoint pen. In this case, it is very easy. We can get according to that we get the random sample from the raw, and then to make the average. And then in case of the average variance, it comes to be variance divided by sample size, this. In this way, we can, with use of this, we can get the sample size, and then we can apply this. However, now we have a boat of 500 kilotons arrive a piece of the pier of steel plant with full of iron ore. How many samples must be taken to estimate the total iron content of the total ore on this boat? Iron ore has its form in lump and in powder, and the lumps tend to be higher quality, whereas powder was lower. Therefore, there was a tendency in the sampling for vendor to choose lumps, whereas buyer means Japanese industry, vendor means that Western company. Buyer would pick powder. Japanese buyer had a weak point to the Western vendors after World War II. Still at that time, we are treated as beaten by the war. How do you define a sample? How you can define a sample? How can we apply mathematical statistics to this area? Mathematical statistics can be applicable after we can define how many pieces. So, how to define one sample? Maximum particle size. This is the method which Professor Dr. Ishikawa developed to find the scoop number. You see, this he developed that in order to count the number of samples, he developed this scoop, and then he by this size of scoop, each dimension is decided by that size, sample size like this, and then he did a very big experiment. And then in this way, his approach was adopted in Japanese industry standard, and then were accepted by international standard organization as follows. And then in this way, Japanese plants could insist ISO and JIS to the vendors, and then to make it that material cost reduction for the Japanese industry. Data, this has been used also many Asian steel plants without mine at seaside. Now that to say, now Professor, this is the trio of Professor Ishikawa. He did many kinds of things. But to say, this part is that to say, his sampling part. He works a lot about ISO. He was a board member of that. So this, that to say. And then also the other part there. But that point is that his starting point. So this is what I want to share. So kamsahamnida. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give big hands to Dr. Kano for his outstanding contribution. Thank you. Well, it's really quite amazing how wonderful the research was at the age of Dr. Ishikawa's age. I mean, it was about 60 years ago. The topic has been very almost as recent as we can see these days. That's really wonderful. Well, this is end of the ICAR, the medal presentation, the ceremony. I really appreciate our first day the event, from opening the keynote speeches, and then this Ishikawa Kano the silver medal ceremony. Well, I appreciate Dr. Dalgaard and Dr. Kano, Mr. Janak Mehta, and then Dr. Watson for their outstanding speeches. Well, this conference has been telecasted through YouTube, ANQ 2020 Congress. If you type ANQ 2020 Congress in YouTube, you can find the entire video for this conference. You can review the past lectures and then the opening comments. I also again congratulate to the winners of the medals. It's really a wonderful honor. I mean, for getting this the eminent and then world famous the ICAR the medal. Well, this is end of the special event for first day of this ANQ Congress. From now on, we switch to your room to parallel sessions, whatever you are interested in, and then we spend another 70 or the 80 minutes in that specific room for the studying and understanding the good the research papers. I thank you, and then we finish this session with the big hands each other. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, the parallel session will begin at 5, so you can move within the 5 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, that's